Okay, hello everybody, my name is Cameron Earl, and today I am here with another Villainous ranking. Today, I am ranking the Disney Villainous characters, this time by Thematicness. Um, if everyone knows, the whole point of Disney Villainous is to be thematic to the movie while playing as the villain. Um, But obviously, there's going to be some villains who would have harder goals to turn into a board game than others. So some would be less thematic, obviously. So we're going to start off with the least thematic and go up to the most thematic. Now, I think all these villains, except three, are very thematic, and the bottom three are just a tiny bit thematic. Okay, starting off with the least thematic, we have something that would probably be an obvious choice, and that would be Gaston. Gaston, in my opinion, is the most thematic. Now, me and my friend, who I play Villainous with very often, um, we agreed on this that Gaston is the least thematic. Um, because there's so much he does in the movie. Well, not so much, I mean, to get Belle. But honestly, Belle, he has to defeat Belle if he wants to win, pretty much. If she's on his board. He goes after Belle and then he goes after Beast at the end. He doesn't go after the obstacles. The obstacles are what he's removing, obviously, in the movie, but the obstacles are just minor setbacks along with the Beast. He has nothing to do with needing to defeat the Beast. It has nothing to do with needing to have Belle on his board. He has nothing to do with locking Maurice up. Nothing about Gaston means anything, but obviously it's forgetting the woman, so I guess I had to give him like a 1 out of 10 in thematicness. Next I have on the thematicness scale is Maleficent, and that's because Maleficent didn't really do much for her goal in the movie. At the beginning, Maleficent's biggest evil plan was that she wasn't invited to the party, and she cursed Aurora for it. Other than that, she just kind of sits in her castle until I don't even remember much of the film, honestly. What, Prince Philip goes to kill her, I think. It's like she does. There's not much for Maleficent to do. Um, Thematicness has to place curses, but of course, curses is her whole power. That's why I put her higher than Gaston, because her whole power is pretty much just curses. So Maleficent go next. Next, I have Queen of Hearts on a thematicness scale, and that's because the last 15 minutes of the movie were her last 15 minutes of screen time, her only 15 minutes of screen time. The Queen of Hearts does not have much to her character in the movie at all. All she does is play croquet, then be a sore loser because she cheated and failed at it miserably and decided she wanted to chop off a little girl's head. Just because she could. Um, there's not much for her to do. And all this, her whole playing experience is just a game of croquet. Next I have one which I don't actually. I feel like people agree with me on those last three down there. On those last three: Gaston, Maleficent, and Queen of Hearts. I feel like a lot of people would agree. This is where I feel like some people will start getting mixed up, and that's really just Pete. Um, Pete has gone up there on my favorites list. I love playing Pete, but I've only ever seen one of those black and white Mickey Mouse cartoons, so I don't really know. I should technically disqualify Pete. I haven't seen much of it, but from what I understand with Pete's character, he really just causes problems. And that's what his goal is, to cause problems on his board, and therefore doesn't have a set goal other than just to cause problems. Um, I think his character captures that very nicely, but his character capturing that nicely is not enough to put him higher on my list. Okay, next character I have is another one, Dr. Facilier, that people might disagree on. Um, and that's mainly the fact with how little he has to do. If I think a lot of characters are equal in thematicness, I will go for I will put whoever has more to do higher. And based on how much they have to do, Dr. Facilier does not have much to do whatsoever. He just has to play 3 cards and he wins and avoid heroes with a strength of 3 or less. I mean, our main protagonist can't even get the talisman of the movie. Um, the heroes, I mean, Princess and the Frog movie, like some of the side characters are really bland, but they're side characters. Um, this just needing to play Rule New Orleans, like I'm sure before the scene that the picture that's on the Rule New Orleans card, I'm sure that a lot of people even forgot about that. I mean, Dr. Facilier's whole goal in the movie was to kill the king, have Lawrence as Naveen, marry Charlotte, not kill the king, kill the mayor or whatever he was. Marry Charlotte, then take all the money, and then give the New Orleans to the spirits. Okay, next I have on the thematicness scale is one that actually makes me a little sad. That I put him all the way down here, and that is Scar. I put Scar at the number. I think the number 16 spot. Um, yeah, Scar. I mean, Scar's goal was really hard to put in a board game, and that's what I was thinking. Because his whole thing is he kills Mufasa, gets Simba, done. That's pretty much it. Of course, it comes to backfire on him. And Scar's whole thing is defeating heroes. But after Scar, almost halfway into the movie, I think it was, kills Mufasa, kicks Simba out of the kingdom, you don't get anything from Scar after that until the finale, in which he just tries to maintain his rule, which I guess is defeating heroes, obviously. But I just think that there's some problems with Scar's thematicness, and that hurts the character a little bit for me because there is a goal that I think would have been better for him, but I'm not going to explain it. I'll explain a little bit. I think that Simba should have been a double-sided cardboard token. His side with his grown-up side and his tiny side starts with his cub side on at the bottom of Scar's board. Scar has to move him to the gorge, which is the 3rd location. Find Mufasa, kill Mufasa, which finding Mufasa, there's like a card for that or whatever. Or when you get Simba to the gorge, you find Mufasa or something. And have enough hyenas to kill Mufasa. After you do that, you unlock your 4th location, which is the jungle, where Simba meets or lives with Puma and stuff like that. Well, after that, you will flip at the beginning of your next turn. You will place one of your 5 control tokens on Pride Rock, and Simba will be flipped over to his grown-up side and placed at the top of your board. Now, at the beginning of each of your turn, after he's flipped and after 1 control tokens on Pride Rock, he will force you to play a fate card on yourself. Just 1. Don't pull 2 cards and choose the worst one, because that wouldn't work. Just pick 1, play 1 if you can. Like if it's a dead card that you can't use or something like that. And you also have to defeat Simba. There's multiple cards to keep Simba at bay. If Simba does, however, make it, because at the beginning of each of your turn, you'll put a claw, or like a paw or something, that's called a control token, on Pride Rock. If Simba makes it to Pride Rock, you flip your gold token over. Now your goal is to defeat Simba. The thing is, all heroes that are at Pride Rock must be defeated before Simba is defeated. But Scar would have like the same number of allies, just way stronger. And I think if Scar defeats Simba after that, he wins. Next character I have here, probably one of you already seen in my hand, it is Ursula. So put Ursula higher up here than I thought I would. Of course, her goal is to have the crown and the trident at the lair. Now, one thing I do really like about Ursula's Thematicness, I don't like the character whatsoever. She's dead to me, and I hate her. I hate that movie, anyways. But one thing I do like about the thematicness aspect of Ursula is the change form card, where she'll change human, octopus chick, human, octopus whale, whatever she is. And she's... The binding contracts is what kind of ruins it for me. Because the binding contracts just take your voice. Or took Ariel's voice. I feel like Ariel should have been developed into her goal more. But honestly, that's all I have to say about Ursula. Okay, next character. I guess the green set's really hurting them in thematicness, even though there is one character who is fairly high up on the list. But the next character I have in thematicness is Prince John. Prince John, nothing to say about him. Pretty much he just collects money in the movie, and that's that. But later it turns into trying to find Robin Hood, and Prince John does not need to find Robin Hood in his goal. Okay, next character I have is the Horned King. The Horned King, I think it's just that, you know, he prays for world domination. And his board, where all the color board needs to be placed, is just cramped into this tiny little palace. Also, I feel like the heroes, even though they were useless and pretty bland characters in the film, I feel like they needed a little bit more to do with his goal. If they were actually out on the board, maybe he would need to defeat one of them before he could win. Like, maybe you have to defeat Gurgi, but Gurgi can come back or something like that. But honestly, Horned King in multiple rankings, he's just like... Oh, excuse me. Every single time I've ranked Horned King or thought about Horned King's spot in a ranking, it's always, how do I even speak about him? Like, what do I say about him? Okay, next up here I have is Gizmo. Gizmo, obviously, the 4 different fate decks needs to find Kuzco. But it seems in the movie they were more on a set path to finding Kuzco instead of needing to look through all these fate decks. And also, I feel like the Scar set should have been the best way to get double gold tokens. Like Radigan has a double gold token. I just explained what I would have liked a little bit more for Scar, and he had a double gold token. I feel like Gizmo would have to do something like the Evil Queen would do. And like how the Evil Queen would have to brew poison or find the right poison for Kuzco or something. Poison Kuzco. And if somehow it'll be like Queen of Hearts Take a Bite, just a lot harder to complete. And if that happens, then she has to defeat Kuzco. But Kuzco will like constantly be moved around and stuff like that. It's just really weird that they didn't make the orange set a double gold token. And I really feel like they should bring it back. Okay, the next character I have up here is Lotso. Lotso is the first from the new Bigger and Badder set. I like that set. I like playing everyone in the Bigger and Badder set. Lotso's lowest hero on the Thematicness scale, but he's also my least favorite to play in a set. He's a play often, but definitely not all the time character. Well, I mean, like, not gonna play so much, not gonna play often character, pretty much, but I enjoy him anyways. Lotso has to have 4 heroes, and I think the thing that really hurts his thematicness is the fact that he only has 4 heroes. In the movie, he had a whole collage of toys from Andy that he wanted to shove in the caterpillar room. And also, he could have used Ken more. He could have used Barbie. There's just not much to him, and the more I'm talking about, I'm actually questioning his spot on the Thematicness scale. But you know what? He's staying here on my Thematicness scale. Next character I have up here is Captain Hook. Captain Hook obviously needs to find the Neverland map. Neverland map unlocks Hangman's Tree, which is how he finds it in the film. Then he has to kill Peter Pan. Here's the thing, though. The thing that really gets me is that Captain Hook then has to move Peter Pan to the other side of his board. And in the film, Captain Hook really just wanted to get rid of Peter Pan then and there. Captain Hook didn't want Peter Pan to Jolly Roger, but that's your goal. And I see why, just to drag on the game a little bit. But something just doesn't sit right in my mind. Next character I have up here is my personal favorite to play, Mother Gothel. Mother Gothel's down here because in the movie she's chasing Rapunzel. In the game, she's just Mother Gothel. She'll be throwing out those cards like ninja stars. She'll be doing all these different combos to gain trust from Rapunzel. And yeah, she's just making Rapunzel trust her. Thematic, but not the most thematic, I gotta say. Okay, the next character I have up here is Hades. Hades. Here's the thing with Hades. I know that in the film he only ever had two Titans, Hydros and Pyros, get to the top of Mount Olympus. Stratos was just down there doing his own thing. Argus was over there dead with his skull smashed in or something. And Lythos is just doing Lythos things. Throwing rocks, stuff like that. But the thing is the fact that Hades only needs 3 of the 5. I mean, he didn't really need Argus because he sent Argus somewhere else. But yeah, that's Hades. Next I have is Jafar. Now, switching between Jafar and Hades was a little bit difficult for me because Hades needs only 3 of the 5 Titans, but at the same time, Jafar doesn't really need to hypnotize Genie because as long as Jafar has the lamp, the Genie is the Genie, and the Genie has to follow him. That's pretty much just the whole hypnotize thing with the Genie is what knocks Jafar this low. And that actually makes that set the first set to get down smashed. The first set gets down off of the thematicness scale. Hey, next character I have here is Lady Tremaine on the thematicness scale. Lady Tremaine, of course, has to find the invitation from the king, that unlocks it, finds the prince, plays the wedding bells, gets one of the ball gown sisters. Can't win if ball gown Cinderella's in there unless you already have a stepsister in the thing. Can't win if there's any glass slippers. But the goal doesn't really follow the path of the movie. I don't know. There's just something. There's not much I can say about how thematic Lady Tremaine's goal is. It's just that when I think of the 5 villains that are above Lady Tremaine, I think of them as more thematic than Lady Tremaine in some way. That knocks the yellow set off of the thematicness scale. The next character I have here is Syndrome. I love playing Syndrome. Syndrome's one of my new favorites for sure. I really like playing Syndrome. But the whole thematicness thing with Syndrome is the fact that he just has to destroy his androids. The thing that knocks Syndrome a little bit lower on the thematicness scale for me is because I don't think he wanted Omnidroid V9 destroyed. Mr. Incredible was supposed to defeat V8. No, he wasn't supposed to. I think they wanted to see if he could defeat it, but also leave it alive, pretty much. And then V9, I think, was supposed to kill Syndrome after he was done. Mr. Incredible after he was done flabbing and shouts, stuff like that. And then he was going to take that. Basically, it was just whenever the Omnidroids were ready and strong enough to kill Mr. Incredible, but obviously that didn't work, and his goal involves destroying them instead of testing them. I don't know. I do like the whole thing where the heroes play catch with the remote, though. Next I have here, these top 4 were very hard to rank, right? Let me tell you. But in the end, the next one that I have on a thematicness scale is Cruella Deville. Cruella has to capture 99 puppies, and I have to get this question. It's like, why does she only need to especially from younger people, or like when I'm playing with my brother, or if I'm playing with someone at the board game after school thing that my school does. It's like, why does she only need to capture 99? The movie is called 101 Dalmatians. It's because 2 of the 101 are parents, people. But still, she's very fun, and honestly, not docking her because she doesn't skin the puppies, because why would you put skinning puppies in a Disney game? I mean, they put it in a Disney movie, come on, like, what was that, the 60s? Okay. Next I have here, obviously, this new set, Bigger or Badder, has been very thematic. Next character I have up here is Madam Mim, taking the number 3 spot. And honestly, before I talk about my top 3, make sure to comment, like, subscribe, enjoy the video to get more trash content. Not often. But it's trash content that I'm gonna enjoy. Okay, so Madam Mim. It was debated whether I was going to switch the spots of her and Syndrome, but I think Madam Mim really has the thematicness over Syndrome, because certain transformations can only be defeated by certain transformations. The only thing I think docks her in the thematicness because they didn't find a way to have it match the order of the battle. And also, you can have more than one transformation. It's just like when Maui was on top of Tamatoa after finally getting his hook, and Maui just starts phasing out between all these different forms. Okay, so Madam Mim had the bronze medal, taking the silver medal of thematicness. Now this was a tough choice. Taking the silver medal of thematicness is Evil Queen. And also, disclaimer: this whole video is my opinion. You guys can have your own opinions. Just be nice to me. Evil Queen, very thematic. She has to play the ingredients to brew the poison. Then she has to kill Snow White with the poison. That's that. And Evil Queen is so deliciously thematic. I love how thematic the Evil Queen is. But I overall think that just one character, one tiny character, beats out her. And that is the gold medalist of thematicness, in my opinion, is Ratigan. Mainly because of the 2 gold tokens, I think, did it for me. Because, of course, what Ratigan was doing, he was getting the gears. Having Flaversham can also dock what you need to pay for the Robot Queen. And when you play the Robot Queen, you can even use the airship. Move her all the way. They even put Bartholomew being the most useless ally, so he could be taken out by Felicia, so you could play her for only 3 power instead of 5. Basil discards items. Your gold token flips to having to defeat Basil. It's all extremely thematic, and it makes Ratigan even better in my eyes. Ratigan takes the gold medal for thematic, and that is my ranking. So, the ranking from least to most thematic goes, in my opinion, in this order: Gaston, Maleficent, Queen of Hearts, Pete, Dr. Facilier, Scar, Ursula, Prince John, Horned King, Gizmo, Lotso, Captain Hook, Mother Gothel, Hades, Jafar, Lady Tremaine, Syndrome, Cruella Deville, Madam Mim, Evil Queen, and Ratigan. Thank you all for watching. I will end at the 23 mark, and I will see you all next time. Bye-bye. 10, 9, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.